Hey guys, Joe Franco here, and today's topic, video insight, is going to be about how to pick a bodybuilding show or figure competition, to do your first show. Really, the first step, even before you want to diet down and you actually, you want to find that show, I say as soon as the thought comes into your mind about competing, you want to go to as many shows, local ones, that you can attend, only because that is the way you're gonna learn about it. You'll see how the flow goes, you'll see if the tempo of the show is something that you're interested in, you'll see how they're judging, you'll see the stage. Going to a couple shows before you even think about doing your diet is usually the first step. When I meet someone that wants to compete, my first question is, oh, have you ever been to a contest before? And if they say no, I say, you know what? Look for something that's close by. I don't care what federation, whatnot. Just go so you can at least see what the day is going to be about. And I always say you want to go to the prejudging because that is really where it all takes place. So once you establish that and you've gone to a couple shows, and then you start your plan, and let's just say that everything's on course and it's still kind of up in the air. You really want to pick out a number of shows, typically I say within your area, because that's priority. I think, for your first contest, you don't want to have too much stress on you and about, staying a couple nights. I mean, a lot of times you may have to stay the night before only to help accommodate the process of the contest, as far as checking in, if you do your tanning, your polygraph, checking with the promoter. So you don't have to want to travel that far, unless the expenses are not a bother to you and everything. But you really, in addition to that about the travel, you want to look at the promoter and look at their track record. And if you even can, you want to look at the competitors that have done the show before, and I'm sure you might be able to contact one of them, and you want to pick their brain. Literally, you want to talk to a bunch of people that have competed in this particular show that you have interest in, because that's how you're going to learn about it. And if one of the shows that you watched the previous year is usually maybe the show that you think about doing, so you can see how the flow of the contest goes. So really, I mean, you first got to think about, all right, I've been to a few shows. There's one that I like. It's not too far away. It's less stress. I don't have to spend a couple nights there, drive 4 or 5 hours. That is really the first thing you want to, cross off on your list. Now, there are great shows that you may have to travel to. When you reach a pro level, well, obviously, you have to travel because there's might not be too many in your area. Now, as far as doing a drug tested or non-drug tested show, again, it really doesn't matter. You still want to do your homework, whereas you want to contact the promoter, ask them questions, and you'll learn a lot right away. I mean, if you write them, hey, can I have your entry form? And if it takes days or weeks, well, that gives you a good indication that they're not too passionate about what they're doing. If within a day or two they get back to you with the entry form, well, that's a great sign, obviously, because they're on top of it. You can tell that they're caring about the people that want to do their show. And to me, that's really the end-all be-all. I mean, if the promoter is not going out of their way to give you the information that's needed to compete, really, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg of what can possibly go wrong on that day. And you'll learn. I mean, if you sign up for a show and it's not that important, it takes a couple weeks, you get the entry form, you do it, you sign up, and then you don't hear anything from the promoter, well, that's not a good sign. So that's why it's so important to investigate, pick the promoter's brain first, talk to people who possibly did the show. And the more information that you get from them, well, then you should. It's a little bit more comforting that, all right, this guy or girl that's running the show does care. They do have an idea what they're doing. I mean, I've had clients that were forced to do certain shows because of the demographics, or if they're at pro level, and I'll ask them questions. Well, have you got any information? They're like, no. Leading into their final week, I like to have the order of events so we can help, especially a first-time client, about meal timing and the prep in the morning of, and a lot of times the promoter can't provide that information, and which blows me away. The order of events should be done pretty soon. I mean, obviously the splits in the classes might not be done, but a promoter should be able to give you an idea on when you may be going on stage. And if they don't, or if they tell you, well, we haven't decided the order of events like until the day before, well, that is an indicator that, to me, is usually not, the show's not going to be run properly. Now, again, that's that little topic. Now, for these contests, there's a wide variety of federations now, which is good because it gives you, the competitor, more options. You may have more shows in your area, but just like everything else, more doesn't always mean better. Just because there's more options, there could be more lousy shows out there. So again, you really want to go back and research. See if the show has grown year to year. That's a positive sign. See what the competitors look like and how they're treated. See if they're talking about the contest and how good it was. Those are all things to consider. So as soon as you have that thought in your head about competing, that's when you want to open the books, do as much research, on all the social media, the websites and everything, the organizations. And that's really it. That's what you want to look for. So hopefully this has been helpful. Just a little information about what to look for when competing in your first show and a little insight. Thanks.